Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again. And today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So today we have some pretty big news from one of the dev QA answers, and it's regarding the Phoenix Force. So if you haven't kept up with the Phoenix Force saga, this card has been broken for pretty much ever since it came out. There was a bug with the card where whenever it resurrects a thing, does its thing, if you make a copy of whatever card was resurrected, typically multiple man, but this can apply for really any card, you make a copy of the thing the Phoenix Force is bringing back, it has that Phoenix Force aura, but it is not able to move. And that is a bug we've been stuck with since the card came out. It's been brought up a number of times, but it has never been fixed, and it was finally acknowledged a little bit more recently in the past month or two. And we have some good news today in one of the QA answers. We are finding out that this bug is going to be squashed with the patch coming on the 5th of December. So the question here was a bit of a longer response as it was asking about multiple bugs. So Glenn goes into it here. I'm not going to read all this, it's just here for those who find this interesting. But he wrote up a lot about how they deal with bugs, how some of them are more simple than other ones. But the big point here is that last part of it is the fix to Phoenix Force is coming in the next patch scheduled for 12.5. It was a tricky one. And also some other bug fixes that are coming. Werewolf not being able to move into Luke's bar, even though you've put a on reveal card there. I think that one's lost a lot of people a lot of games. I know it's lost me a game at least. So that's nice. Good to see some bugs getting fixed. I imagine the Daredevil bug also going to be fixed in that patch. People have been waiting for that one for a while, and this is the next major patch afterwards. But the main focus is on Phoenix Force here because them fixing this bug makes this card really, really good. Now, Phoenix Force really had a hard time finding a home when it initially came out. It was a 5/6, it just felt too slow. I actually found out about this bug on the day of the release because I spent over 2 hours trying to set up a situation where I could clone a Phoenix Force and then get multiple moves. It was not easy. It was really, really hard. The card was really, really bad, and I felt very deflated after messing around with it for well over 2 hours, finally getting the outcome I wanted, only to learn that the card does not work correctly. Eventually, Phoenix Force was buffed to a 4/5, but this bug was definitely still holding the card back a bit, and now it seems like it's going to have a lot of potential with this bug being fixed. Now, the main instance of this bug mattering is with multiple man, where if you get your Phoenix down on curve on turn 4, and it brings back a multiple man, you can move it. The next turn, you will have 2 copies of that Phoenix multiple man, and then you'll be able to move both of them, being able to get 4 copies, and then continuing into 8 copies. As long as the game goes long enough. So this seems like a pretty big buff to the card. The card did see a bit of play during the initial Loki meta, as it was one of those decks that could effectively execute a strong combo game plan with the right draws, and Loki couldn't really profit from very easily since their cards required being used in a very specific sequence in order to function properly. So this seems like a pretty big buff to the Phoenix Force. I actually know a bunch of other players who were kind of thinking they were never going to fix this bug, and some who didn't even know about this bug just thought it was intended functionality in terms of balancing the card. This definitely does seem a little spooky, but I'm just happy that the card is finally going to be working right as intended, and if it proves to be a bit too strong, that's something that can always be dealt with. It would be really funny if it does have a bit of a resurgence here as a Loki counter again. Who knows, maybe Loki gets hit in the patch, maybe this deck getting buffed up can be enough to push him a bit further out of the metagame than he is right now. Only time will tell, but I'm pretty excited to hear this is finally happening, and we can see what the true power of the Phoenix Force is with it working correctly. Now, if you're wondering what version of the Phoenix Force you might want to play when this change happens, I think this is going to be the deck you're going to want to go with. Now, obviously, we had predicted that there might be a Chavez nerf, so depending on if or how Chavez gets changed with the release of the patch, maybe she no longer makes the cut. Currently, she is pretty important, as this is a all-in combo deck, where we're mainly trying to do the multiple man into Phoenix Force shenanigans with the Shuri Nimrod stuff as a backup plan. I was actually very impressed with this deck during the Loki season. I think it has fallen off in popularity since then. Main reason for that being disruption being a bit more of a common thing in the meta with rocks and Widow's Bites and whatnot. And this is a deck that doesn't particularly appreciate being disrupted since it is a very all-in focused combo deck that needs to draw its pieces in order to succeed. So we'll have to wait and see just how the patch affects other things outside of the Phoenix Force, but I'm happy to see this card might finally have its day in the sun, as I do think the idea behind the card is actually rather fun and flavorful, but it's never been able to have its true potential due to the bug, which is now going to be fixed. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited for this bug fix? Do you also have some fears that this might make some really strong potential combos with multiple man or maybe other cards? Let me know in the comments, but that's going to wrap it up for this one. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.